For years now, Star Citizen content creators as well as Cloud Imperium have been telling you that all you need is a starter package to play Star Citizen. And during that time, there's been countless YouTube videos and articles that say the opposite, that Star Citizen is a pay-to-win game and there's a $27,000 game package. Oh my goodness. With the release of Alpha 3.7, the idea of only needing a starter ship has never been more true. You can buy ships in-game now. Almost all the ships are purchasable in-game. You can rent ships in-game, and you can upgrade those ships in-game. There's a real sense of progression. And they're also working very hard towards persistence in Star Citizen, where your ship purchases and the money that you make persists between patches. So, with that said, I think this is a perfect time to start a series that I've wanted to do on YouTube for a really long time, and it's titled All You Need is a Starter Package. And it's a Let's Play style series that takes you through the starter experience and upgrading your ship, buying new ships, experiencing all the different aspects of Star Citizen. And I'm going to be starting out with an Aurora MR starter package. It's the $45 package, just Star Citizen, with one caveat, that I'll be using an affiliate code, which means instead of starting with 5,000 credits, I'll be starting with 10,000 credits. And shameless plug, I know, but there will be an affiliate code link as the top link in my description, so if you're new to Star Citizen and thinking about checking it out, make sure you sign up using that link, and you'll get your additional 5,000 credits as well. And just for transparency, I don't get paid or anything like that. You basically get little in-game rewards like new ships or ship components like weapons and stuff. Now, what's also unique about this series is BoardGamer UK is going to be doing a simultaneous series on his YouTube channel using the Mustang Alpha, which is the other starter ship. So you can watch my video and then his video and be informed with what ship you may want to start out with. So the Mustang Alpha is maybe a little bit more combat focused, while the Aurora is maybe a little bit more economy focused. So I am going to take you guys through that experience, and I'm really excited to do so. But again, make sure you check out BoardGamer's channel as well and see kind of where you want to go with that. But with that said, we're going to go ahead and jump into the universe menu here. And you'll normally come with the character customization screen, and you can customize your character here and kind of mess around, and you can choose different heads and scroll through it. I'm not going to go into any real detail here because, again, this intro series is going to be a little bit long, especially this initial video, and it's more of a let's play and not every little step on how to do things. So we're going to go ahead and go to the Stanton system, and region-wise, there are 3 regions for servers. There's US, EU, and Australia. We're just going to hit best, and we'll get the closest server as far as our ping goes. Now I'm going to take this loading screen time to let you know that the system requirements for Star Citizen are relatively high. You need a quad-core CPU, 16 gigs of RAM, and an SSD. Regular mechanical hard drives are not recommended at all. Your loading time would have been significantly longer than mine there, and your play experience will not be great as well. Now, again, I'm not going to go into crazy detail on every little step to do things. There are a ton of great videos there, especially on BoardGamer's channel, about intro guides to Star Citizen, and specifically, I think there's one for Star Citizen 3.7. So if you really want the nitty-gritty on all the little keybinds and how to do everything, make sure you go check that out. So right away, I'm just going to go ahead and click F1 and double check I have my 10,000 credits. There's my name. And what you're really going to want to get familiar with, guys, are these buttons down here. And the first one we're going to go to, and the most important one, is the Contracts Manager. Now, the General tab here is basically like a general mission board that everybody can see. And your Personal tab is basically like your email, where somebody is emailing you these missions to take. So not everybody can see these, and it's more personally directed at you, while these are directed at everybody. Now, what's unique about the Aurora and why I like to choose it is I'm more geared towards the economy gameplay, like mining and cargo hauling and things like that in Star Citizen. And the Mustang Alpha is more geared towards maybe more like combat missions. I don't actually know what Board's going to do for his first couple videos of his series, but my expectations is he's likely going to do more combat style stuff like bounties, so I'm going to kind of show you what's unique about the Aurora and give you a little bit more insight into that. Now, the delivery missions are where you pick up a box and bring them to another location and get paid for it. And we have a few here, but unfortunately, I don't see a lot of these being too great for an initial kind of experience for a new player. So a lot of you guys are really new and maybe you haven't even learned how to fly yet. So I think these missions are great to kind of give you a entry-level experience on how to fly. And I don't think that any of these missions, which are going to take you on 10+ minute travels, where you really don't have much control over your ship, that it's going to be a great kind of new player experience. So I really want to be having you guys doing missions that very early on that are extremely hands-on, that are you're constantly doing something, and maybe you're not going to make as much money right off the bat, but you're going to learn and get your experience in Star Citizen up and ready for these new missions. So the goal here, though, is to try and make you as much money as possible, as quickly as possible. And I'm going to go ahead and select the Ling shipment delivery mission. This is the cheapest mission as it only takes place around the planet that we're at. But we're going to take a little different route than I think a lot of experienced players would do or would expect me to take. And that's going to the personal tab, which tends to have unlawful missions. There are delivery missions that are on your personal tab as well. And they're basically delivering maybe not the most lawful of things around. So basically what we're looking for here are pickup missions that are bringing you to places on Daymar. So take to a stash house on Daymar for 4,000 credits is pretty good. All right, so we're gonna pick that one up, and then we're gonna go to our personal tab again, and I think there might be one more. Ah, yes, here's another one that brings us to a stash house on Selen that's also around our planet. So basically you're looking for the 4,000 credit missions. If we go to the personal tab again and go to deliveries, you'll see that there's these 7,600 missions, but they're bringing you really far away. Yeah, none of these are actually at anywhere close. And this mission here, maybe we can take that a little bit later, but we're gonna start out with these three. So it's very important that you stack your missions, and you can look in your accepted tab what missions you have. And the first thing that we're gonna wanna do, instead of going to the Ling shipment mission, we're gonna go ahead and pick one of these grab and goes, because our pickup is gonna be at Grimhex. So you're gonna click track, and that's gonna track that mission in particular. All right, and to get there, we're gonna need our ship. Since we haven't even left our tab here, it's very important that we do. Now, one thing you're gonna wanna get familiar with and how I open that door is using interaction mode, and that's by holding the F key. It brings up this little crosshair, and anything that highlights in yellow is interactable. So we'll use kind of the ship retrieval console there. You see how it's yellow? And as I approach it, it's gonna turn orange when it's interactable, and you see the little button that says use. And if you left click, it's usable. We're gonna retrieve our Aurora MR, which is our starter ship, and the console's gonna tell us where it is. D7, all right. That should be to our right, and follow the signs to pad D7. Now, I bet a lot of you didn't expect me to go the unlawful route, but it does give you a nice little boost in terms of money early game. And with the Aurora, unfortunately, there's not enough lawful deliveries that are kind of around the Crusader area, and that's the planet that we're gonna see here. And I really want you guys to take your time walking up these stairs. You can scroll wheel down to walk a little bit slower and really get a sense of the scale of Star Citizen. This is why we play this game. The level of detail, the scale, the potential this game has is just exciting. But after that, it's all about our hourly wage, so run everywhere. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get in our Aurora using that interaction mode and get in our seat in the same way. Once you get in your seat, same thing, hold F for interaction mode, look to your left, and flight ready. That turns on your shields, your engines, everything, and you're ready to go. Spacebar to strafe up, and W to start moving forward. Now, I happen to use a different kind of peripheral to play Star Citizen. I use a HOTAS, which is a throttle and a stick, but I'll do my best to give the keyboard keybinds, as far as I know them, to kind of help out as many new players as possible. Now, you're going to move your ship in the direction of this icon, which is basically your mission icon, and it tells you where to go. You're going to hit B, and that's going to spool up your quantum drive, and this is how you fast travel around a star system. And the reason why I didn't choose a lot of those missions there is, as you can see, this planet is 70,000 kilometers away. The missions that give you about 6,000 credits will take you 42 million kilometers away, and we're talking a 12 to 15 minute travel time from one planet to another in this Aurora. That's not a very great starting experience, I think, because during quantum travel, you have no control over your ship at all, and you're basically staring at a screen and you can't do anything. That's not a great experience, so I'm going to do my best to get you guys engaged in Star Citizen and doing as much playing as possible early on. Now, the one thing that you're going to want to do now, and probably I should have showed you earlier, is by hitting F2, this opens up your star map in your Mobiglass. If you scroll out, you'll see a better area of where you're around, and these little diamonds here are basically your missions, and if you click it and set route, it'll set a quantum travel route to get you there as quickly as possible. So our route happens to be on the other side of this moon here, and we're going to go ahead and hit B to travel around it. Also, I saw a lot of introductory videos basically for new players that right away they went over and bought armor and weapons and other things that I don't think are super useful for a new player right off the bat. And the reason being is a lot of the missions are very ship-based early on, and you're not really going to be getting out of your ship and really most likely not seeing too many new players. I'm sure I'm going to get, you know, a different experience, and maybe I'll come across a player that decides that he wants to shoot at me or something like that, and I'm not going to be necessarily super geared up for that situation, but you know, just get unlucky like that. But most of the missions that you're going to be doing early on that I recommend, you're really not going to be coming across too many players. So the reason I said it, and if you're new to Star Citizen, you may not know, that this is probably a different route than most people would take for a new player experience, is that Grimhex is an abandoned station, and it's where pirates basically live, and where all the unlawful activity in the area is basically done. So we're taking unlawful missions here, so we're going to have to pick up some illegal goods and put them in our ship, and this is really the only place in the area to get them. And you wouldn't really want a new player to be doing unlawful things because, well, you don't want them to experience getting attacked by other players or anything like that, but it is a really, really good boost, like I said earlier. Now, you're going to hit F1 as you're getting closer, and you're going to want to slow down before you run into the station or anything, and go to the comm link here, hit contacts, and you'll see Green Imperial Landing Services. You go ahead and click the little diamond there, and it's going to basically open a comms channel to say, hey, I'd like to land. And they say, okay, and you're going to follow the wrench. Wrench means landing pad. So you're going to go to the wrench, and you're going to hit N to lower your landing gear. You're going to want to take this nice and slow. And what I recommend is, as you get into this highlighted area, is to slow down, and then you're going to go ahead and hold N. And this actually interacts autopilot, and it will auto land you. But as you get more comfortable, landing manually is a pretty fun experience, and I highly recommend it. It's really nice. You're going to press Y to get out of your ship once you've landed. and you have not officially landed until the air traffic controller says something like that. Landing complete, have a great stay, anything like that. All right, we're gonna exit out of our right door. And by using the exit out of the right door, this is very important while doing these missions, it will automatically close. Your ship by default is locked, so make sure your door is always closed because, well, we're gonna have some boxes in there and we don't want anybody to steal them. So we're gonna take our walk up these stairs on the left and we're gonna enter into the Green Imperial Hex Station, or Grimhex for short. And again, here, you can land here with any criminal rating, and that's kind of why we're coming here. And we're going to be spending our money here as well, but we're not going to be spending it on armor. My expectations for most players as a new player is you're probably not going to know how to fly very well. You might accidentally shoot at somebody, and you're going to end up getting a criminal rating without really knowing what you did wrong. And the first thing that I want you to do is at least know how to lower that criminal rating and be able to get back to a normal experience, right? And at the same time, I am recommending that you do these sort of unlawful missions to start because they pay more and you can get yourself a nice little head start here. And if you do come across any basically security people, you might end up getting into some trouble. Hold on. So if we go actually down to the last door on the left, where this little arrow is, this is where we're first going to go before we go ahead and pick up any boxes. Now, this door is going to open, and right here are little keys. And they're keys that are going to allow you to lower your criminal rating. And we're going to go ahead and pick up the cheapest one, which is the Walesko. And we'll confirm that purchase, all right? And that's going to be in your basically global inventory. Currently, Star Citizen has a global inventory where anything you buy is just magically in space and you can bring it out from anywhere unless you've taken it out already. So if you go to the Equipment Manager, which is the third button from the left, you'll see that you have clothing, undersuit, weapons, armor, and utility. The key happens to be a utility item. So if you click utility, you'll put your Walesko and equip it, save changes, and equip. And there it is right on our left hip there. And that's going to basically allow us to resolve any issues that you may come across in the verse. Then we're going to follow our mission sign and pick up our first delivery box. And we're probably going to speed this up here after we pick one up. Now I do have a plan here, and the plan is to, like I said earlier, is to upgrade our ship. And the first thing that I personally want to upgrade if we're going to be doing more of the economy style missions is to actually upgrade my quantum drive so it can go a little bit faster. Because I want to take those delivery missions and basically be able to stack as many missions as possible. Delivery missions are extremely lucrative if you can stack them and travel decently far distances. Now, the idea would be to upgrade our ship just to kind of show you that you can, but the better option would be to actually rent a ship in-game that can do a little bit more for you. And those options are great, and we're definitely going to be taking a look at those in the near future, but I do want to show you early on how to upgrade your ship. All right, so now what he's telling me is I've been sitting on the pad a little bit too long, and I better get out, or he's gonna put my ship in storage. So we need to get out of here before he does. So we'll speed out of here. Now, Grimhex is located in an asteroid belt, so you're definitely going to want to go slow. You don't want to run into an asteroid by accident and end up losing everything. That would be embarrassing. So let's go ahead and press F2 to open our Mobiglass and see where our locations are. Now, this one's on Selen. That's not the one we want, and the reason why we don't want to is because we want to stack and do things as quickly as possible. Now, if you remember, we did this very entry-level mission that picks up from Kujar Ore. Well, that happens to be on Daymar. So if we track that and head over to Daymar, we also have this Deliver Redfin Modulator Stash House on Daymar. So we're going to go ahead and pick up our final mission box. And what's, I think, even better is that... it's going to Yella. Okay, so that's coming back here. I could have done this actually a little bit better. So let's go ahead and do this instead. We're going to go ahead and drop off at the Stash House on Daymar first. And touchdown. All right, and this is going to be our first delivery here. And they happen to be on bottom, so we're going to have to pick this one up, move it to the side, and grab the Redfin modulators. Now, what's great about doing these missions, that maybe another thing you didn't expect me to do, is that after dropping these off, you'll see that there's a little panel over here. And it's a trading and shipping console. Well, this stash house is where drugs are made. So I have 3 cargo units inside my ship, and one of the best things to sell is ETAM. And maybe even Neon, actually. Let's see. What's going to be pretty good here for us? Ultratoxin will sell for 54. Maybe ETAM or Ultratoxin are probably going to be our best choices. I'm just going to go with Ultratoxin for now. I don't know if I'm actually making the best choice here. But if I go ahead and use all my available funds, that's close to filling my ship, I'm gambling there. We don't want to do that. So no thanks. You're just going to want to take about half of your funds, all right? Let's take about 5,000 credits. There we go, 5,103, that's fine. And purchase some Ultratoxin. Don't ever risk running too much cargo early on. This is an alpha game, okay, guys? There are crashes. There are bad experiences when playing this game. And the thing is when the game crashes, you can't recover the money that you lost. Now, there's also these other boxes here. And there's a chance I might be able to sell them. This is something that I'm kind of doing this as I go along with you guys. I've actually not tried the unlawful end too much as far as starting out, but it's definitely, I've tried the lawful end, and this is definitely the best option. So, not sure exactly what drugs these are, or if we'll even be able to sell them from our ship, but we're gonna try. Because the goal is to make as much money here as possible. So I saw another one in there, and we're gonna go ahead and try and grab that. And the thing is if it's if we're not able to sell it at Grimhex, whatever this is, then we'll just kind of dump it somewhere, and it won't be that big of a deal. We just gotta cross our fingers that the cops don't notice us. So anytime you see the cops, act natural, all right? And then you won't have any problems. All right, put those in there. And head up into our pilot seat. And let's get on out of here and head to our next location. And our next location is where we're going to be doing that initial lawful mission. So we're going to head up to about 2,000 meters altitude, and we're going to do that again by pressing C. And then we're going to open our Mobiglass and track the Ling shipment mission, which is also here on Daymar. And our altitude is about 2,000 meters now. So we're going to look for Kudra ore on the same moon that we're on. There it is. All right, picking up. Good to go. And this is going to be going to Nakamura Aid Shelter, which is on Yella, which is actually where we're going to be kind of landing for the rest of the day. And dropping off some of those drugs that we picked up. Let's see if we can stack this up 3 high here. Whoop. All right, good. But before we go there, we're gonna do our final drop-off of the kind of illegal boxes that we picked up. And again, I probably will have sped around quite a bit. At this point in the video, I've been going for about 40 minutes. I wanna keep the videos around 20 to 30 if I can. So I'm gonna cut out some of the travel time and speed things up just a bit, but I'll let you know kind of exactly how much time everything took to see if it was worth it or if it was something that you would enjoy doing. All right, and after a couple minutes here, we are finally within a pretty good range of the outpost. And this is one of the beautiful things and the curses of Star Citizen is these procedural planets are massive and you're able to travel around them completely. So sometimes, like with missions like this with unmarked locations, it can get pretty tough to get to them. And I was traveling so fast, I might even fly past this one. Nah, I think we're okay. Good time to turn on our lights using T, and we're gonna head in for a landing here. And we're gonna want to try first things first is try and get rid of those drugs as soon as possible. So we're gonna head over to the console actually before even delivering the box off. Well, I guess we could drop the box up, but we do want to make sure that we remember to sell off any drugs that we picked up if we can. But there is a location where we will be able to sell for sure. Let's go ahead and head in with our Osoian hides. Pressurized. There's our drop off, and there's a couple more bags of drugs there, which is pretty good. And there's our shipping console. Let's see if we're able to sell here. So we have some Revenant tree pollen, and there's 12 units for 20 UEC. So that's what that was in those boxes. Not very good. Probably not worth holding on to. So we're gonna go ahead and sell that, and then we'll go over to the buy section and see what kind of price we have here. On Neon. Does Grimhex buy Neon? They do, at a pretty good price. So I think we can pick that up if we'd like for the rest of our remaining funds, as we're going to be heading back to home base shortly. But again, we have 9,000 credits, so I'm kind of more risk averse, and I think you guys should be as well early on. So we'll spend an additional 5,000 credits on those units there. And this is the only lawful mission that we did, and I just took that just to make a little bit of extra money. Why not? 1,200 credits is 1,200 credits. That's a gun or some extra med pens or anything. All the money early on counts. It's important. And the amount of time that it took to get here is really nominal when you think about it. It was like, what, maybe 1 or 2 minutes out of our way, and then another 1 or 2 minutes to get back to Grimhex. It's really not that bad, right? So basically what I try to do is try to take as many missions as I possibly can to keep myself busy, keep myself moving, always be making money. That's the goal here. All right, so that's dropped off. Let's head out. Objective complete. Thank you. Contract complete. Sweet, sweet, sweet. And the more delivery missions you do, the more difficult ones you unlock. So I do suggest doing some lawful ones, but since they force us to travel so far, I think the idea would be to kind of upgrade our quantum drive to make us go a little bit faster and make that process a little bit less boring. Because unfortunately, the quantum travel between planets is, I would say, and I've been quite vocal about this, is pretty boring, pretty unexciting, and I don't think it's a great experience just yet. So I know that there's some things on the roadmap, like finding different points of interest while in quantum travel should make it a bit more interesting, but for right now, I think it does need a little bit of work. So we're gonna head to our final destination, Grimhex, which is right there. Head down to the main concourse, and this is where we'll find a trade window that'll allow us to sell off, we hope, the drugs that we picked up today. And that's going to be on not the last door, but the second, well, the first door on your left. And it'll say Grimhex Admin. Open up. And I believe it's the panels on the right here. Let's see if I was right. Select location. Maybe not. These might be... If it just says select location, I think that's for mining. So I think it's the one on the left. Yeah, there you go. So we're gonna go to sell. Select location, Aurora MR, and there's both of our drugs. So they do not buy ultratoxin here, it doesn't look like. So unfortunately, that's not gonna be good for us. But we can sell the neon for 6,000 credits. So maybe somebody just sold ultratoxin, so we might have to wait a couple minutes here. It should buy it. All right, and there we go. So we're able to sell all of our cargo. It just took a few minutes because they weren't purchasing it at the time. Somebody must have just sold it, and there we go. So we made about 8,000 credits. We did, does that even make sense? We started out with 10,000, we made 8,000. Oh, that's right, but we spent the 3,000 on the key. So altogether, we made, what? 11,000 credits there. So not too bad. So we made about 1,000 on our trade run. So we risked 10,000 to make 1,000. So that's the thing about cargo trading, is it's really, really risky. So it's up to you if you guys want to do that. But guys, with that said, that's gonna do it for today's first video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, let me know your feedback on it. Again, I'm probably cut down quite a bit of the travel times in between to get this video around half an hour, but I really, really do hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think. Again, check out Board's video. If you're new to Star Citizen, want to give it a try, make sure you use that affiliate link, the top link in the description, and I am looking forward to the next video in the series where we spend some time upgrading our ship and then trying out some new missions with the upgraded components. All right? See you guys next time. Bye, everybody.